Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games, back with another cool arcade game repair video for you this morning. Still morning time. So I actually just picked this up. This is a Golden Tee Complete. And it's a mini version, which I wasn't really expecting. So here's the story. I sold a guy a game a little over a year ago, and I took it to him. And he said, yeah, I just picked up this Golden Tee. And I glanced over at it. I really didn't pay much attention to it. And I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I was just trying to get paid, for the game I got. I just dropped off and I just want to get the heck out of there, You got to get the delivery done, get the money, and get out of there. So, anyway, I glanced at it. And I thought it was actually a full-size one. It was across the room. I looked over at it. So, he calls me back a few days ago. And remember, I sold him that other game over a year ago. So, he calls me back, says his Golden Tee. Here's what he said, and he doesn't even watch the channel. He said his Golden Tee is broke, and he wanted to trade it in on a different game. So we worked out a deal. I just threw a number out there for trade-in value. I was kind of expecting a full size, but I just gave him a little bit of trade-in on the one that I sold, so it wasn't that big of a deal. So I get there today to deliver his new machine. And he's got this lined up over there with like 3 or 4 one-up machines. Those crappy little ones that Walmart sells. So I'm thinking, oh crap, what have I done? Because I never even seen, I just threw out a trade-in value on the Golden Tee over the phone, assuming that it was the full size. So I was kind of disappointed. I was thinking he might have got me, did the bait and switch, and it was a one-up machine. But, a deal's a deal, so I had to take it regardless at that point, I stick to my word. Even if I'm not happy with the deal, if I done told him, I was going to do this, that's what I got to do. So anyway, whatever. I start looking it over and I realize it's not a one-up. I believe this is a dedicated Golden Tee Complete mini home version machine. And it's a little bigger than a one-up. It's almost as big as that Galaga. That's why I got it over here. It's pretty much the same height. It's a little bit shorter than a full-size Galaga machine. And this was sold for people for their houses. See how it doesn't have any coin mechanisms? And this was in a restaurant. So I guess one of the waitresses put this sign on it. But I gotta fix it. I gotta fix the sign. Let me see here. There we go. Should say it's broke. But you get the idea. And people always tell me, why do you say it's broke? It's actually broken. It's broken. It just doesn't sound as good. Come on now, people. It's broke. Can you imagine if I walked around and was saying, it's broken. This is broken. It's broke. And I've been saying that for a lot of years, actually. And kind of the story behind it is, people would call, I sell these games to people for their houses, and once it stops working, they have no idea what's wrong with it. It's broke. They don't know what's wrong with it. It's broke. And you used to try to ask them, what's wrong with it? What's it doing? They have no idea. You could, they may think it's one thing and it's something else. Obviously, they don't know how to repair them, or they wouldn't be calling us. So It's broke. It doesn't matter what's wrong with it. It's broke. But anyway, that's that. So I thought this was kind of cool. The full-size ones do this too. They always break right there on the corners. All the T-molding, all the golden T's do that. So I haven't even plugged it in yet. I don't really even have to diagnose it because they've already told me what's wrong with it. But I don't have any keys, so I'm going to try to pop the back door open and we'll see what we got going on. It's a pretty clean little machine because it's made for your house. So this probably came out in 2005, I would imagine, because it's a 2006 Golden Tee Complete. Oh well, yeah, there we go. So this was made for your house. So this has probably been in somebody's house up until about a year ago, where this guy bought it and put it in his restaurant. So it should clean up pretty good if I can get it to work. It's got a 19-inch CRT in it, looks like. So let's get the back door off and see what we got going on in there. Alright, I got the back door off. There's the game board. There's the power supply. This is a little bracket you can put underneath the trackball to make the height a little different. We hardly ever use those either, but apparently it came with that. And here is the monitor board. There is the hard drive. And that's about all there is to it. Because this is a home model, so that you don't have any wires or anything going up there to the coin door. So let's hope that the power supply is bad, or the hard drive, I guess. Sometimes these incredible technology boards have issues with the video card, which is that right there. See where the VGA goes in? And you can't really get those anymore. You'd have to buy another used one. And they're kind of a gamble because they're just as old and they may be going out too. And I know what you're probably thinking. Well, you can put any video card in there. No, you cannot. Has to be an Incredible Technologies one. They made it. They wanted you to buy the video card from them. So you give them $300-400 for it. They didn't want you to be able to just go buy a $20 one off the shelf. And that's how it works. So let's plug it in. I have not plugged it in yet. Let's plug it in and see what happens. Hear that chirping sound? And see that little green light up there? Hear the chirp sound? It does it every time that light flashes. That means the monitor's broke. You can hear the hard drive spin up. You see the little lights on the board there? I'm going to go ahead and unplug the monitor. Basically, that monitor is going into high voltage shutdown because some of those capacitors are bad, probably, or maybe the hot. But I bet if I go up front and hit the start button, we can hear the sound. That's called playing blind. Let's see if it'll do that.
Welcome to Golden Tee Golf. Hi, I'm Pat Summerall, and with me is Peter Jacobson. Peter?
Pat, we're sure to see some great golf today.
Hear that? You know what that means? That means my hard drive's good. That means my game board's good. And that means my power supply's good. The video card could still be bad, but we don't know that yet. We got to focus on the monitor now. So I've got to take that monitor board out of there, check some stuff. I'm going to check the hot, and I'll probably change all the capacitors, and we'll try it again. Well, unfortunately my hot is shorted together, so that's not good. I was hoping it was just going to be some capacitors. I don't know if I've got that hot. This is actually a lot newer monitor than I typically work on. So, and the bad thing about the hot being bad is usually when the hot's bad, the flyback is bad. Sometimes you get lucky and you change the hot, and you know, that's all that was it. I need to put caps in it anyway, so I'm going to change the caps and the hot and test it again. And if it blows the hot again, that pretty much tells you that your flyback's bad or something else is shorted, but it's usually the flyback. But this flyback, I mean, it looks fine. Usually when, you know, a lot of times they'll be bulging out and stuff when they're bad, but they can also be bad and look good. So it's one of those things. It's not, we don't really have a really good way of testing the flyback other than putting it back in the machine and kind of seeing what happens. But that's next. These caps are only rated at so many thousand hours, and I know that this guy's had this thing turned on for the past year, you know, 8 to 10 hours a day in his restaurant. So all these caps need to be changed, and the hot. So that's what I'm going to do next, and hopefully that'll get it going. If not, I'll have to order one of those flybacks. Alright, it's a few days later. I did not have the hot in stock. And you can actually get these on eBay, but you got to be careful. Believe it or not, a lot of the ones on eBay are fake. They just take any kind of transistor and scratch the number off and put on a number that's popular. I know that sounds crazy, but they do it all the time. So, you know, on arcade stuff, on arcade monitors, we like to get most of our parts, if he's got them, from arcadecup.com. That's Chad. So he's got a lot of new old stock parts for monitors, and he's not really any more expensive than what you pay on eBay for them, and you know they're real if you get them from Chad. So I ordered a few hots from him. Here's my new one. There's my old one. I've already changed all the caps. I didn't change the flyback. I'm just going to gamble here. So I'm hoping once I put that in there, it'll work. So we'll see. All right, I got it back in there. We're going to try it again. Remember before it was ticking and chirping, so we don't want it to do that. If it starts ticking and chirping again and resetting, we just wasted a $10 hot, and our flyback's probably bad. So here we go. I don't know if you heard that, but it sounded like the tube charged up. Looks like we got neck glow. Let's see. Looks like she's working. I gotta get in this control panel area. There ought to be a remote board in there somewhere. And I want to turn up the brightness and contrast and get all the size and everything right. So I got the control panel unlatched. Pretty much most games will have a latch on each side. And then you could flip up the control panel on just about all the arcade games. And there's my remote board I was looking for. So let's see if we can adjust it a little bit. That brings that up. Past it. Let's see. Apparently I was way too close. Why didn't y'all tell me? Let's see. I think we need some brightness myself. Takes me a minute here. You got to figure out what button to hit. Just be patient. Okay, I think I'm getting somewhere now. Okay. There we go. We like lots of brightness. I think that looks better already. Alright, so our horizontal width is too wide. Let's go see if we can find that. Horizontal size. That's about right, but we need to go to the right a little bit. I think that's pretty good, but now we need some vertical size. These buttons are always a little touchy. Vertical size. Oops. Vertical size. See? You guys keep making me hit the wrong button. Now look what you did. Vertical size. There we go. I think that's about right. Yep, I think that'll work. I think that looks good. Turn off the light, maybe you can see it better. It's so bright, it's not even coming through on the camera good. Look how bright and vivid.
Welcome to Golden Tee Golf. Hi, I'm Pat Summerall, and with me is Peter Jacobson. Peter?
This is actually a pretty new monitor. This is probably one of the last CRTs they made. It's all digital.
We're here at Mystic Hills on a drizzly
Real fancy
and
monitor. Has a lot going on.
I'm sure excited about this round.
I don't know if I've ever worked on one of those. But that is a nice monitor. What do you think? I don't think you'd find a monitor better than that. So, next, what we got to do. See this plexiglass? I'm not really a fan of the plexiglass. It saves it, you know, if it's on a commercial location. But I usually sell these to people for their houses. That stuff drives me crazy how it gets down behind the plexiglass And this is moisture trapped behind the plexiglass right there. I don't know, it's just one of my things. I always take the plexiglass off. I think it looks a lot better that way. So I'm going to take the plexiglass off, and I'm going to go see if I've got some white T-molding. I've got to replace this T-molding. It's fine. That was the control panel. Why'd you jump for? So it's in pretty good shape other than those little cracks there. But I'm going to go ahead and change all of the T-molding. It's not very expensive. So that's next. Plexiglass off, T-molding on. Alright, I think that's all there is to it on that. It should come right off now. There you go. Now we got to put the buttons back. Normally I put new buttons and switches in, but I don't think this has had very much play, and the white buttons are still nice and bright white, so I'm not going to do it on this one. You guys know how I like my Windex. Put that Windex on everything. Alrighty. Got the plexiglass off. I just think it's a lot cleaner of a look. Obviously, you can leave the plexiglass on if you want to, but I just think it looks better. You don't have to worry about stuff getting stuck underneath the plexiglass. Looked like there was some sawdust and stuff stuck around the trackball. All that's gone now. The cleaner you can get it, you know, the easier it is to sell. So I could have left it, but you know, the first person in that was looking at it might have not liked that. So you try to get them as clean as you can, within reason. You got to make them an 8. You can't make them a 10. You got to make them a solid 8. You know what I'm talking about. The time it's going to take me to take it from an 8 to a 10, you know, I might not get that money back. I'd rather just sell it as an 8. Some of you know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to go see if I've got some white T-molding. I'm pretty sure I do. And then I'm going to take the T-molding off and replace it. Alright, I got plenty of T-molding. I'm not going to film changing the T-molding. I really don't think it's necessary. All you do is pull the old T-molding out and you hammer the new T-molding in with a mallet. Well, I got the T-molding on. I got it all wiped down. I think it turned out pretty good. Got a new lock on it. It's a pretty clean game. If you don't know anything about the Golden T4 series, this is the one everybody wants. So basically, Golden T4 series came out in 2001, and each year they had 5 to 7 courses. So Golden T 2001 would have 5 or 7 courses, then Golden T 2002, then 2003, and every year was 5 different courses. Golden T Complete came out in 2006, and it has all of the courses on it.
Welcome to Golden T Golf. Hi, I'm Pat Summerall, and with me is Peter Jacobson. Peter?
So it's got all the courses from every year. So this is the most desirable one to have. I think this one's actually going to sell pretty quick. And it's the smaller version, which, you know, somebody's going to want to play Golden Tee and not want the huge cabinet. This one's still almost 6 feet tall though, so you're not really losing anything. It's got the 19-inch screen instead of the 25-inch or 27-inch screen though, but it actually looks really good. I wasn't really sure how it was going to play on a 19-inch screen because I'm so used to the 25s and the 27s.
It's great to be with you today.
But it actually looks really good
And the skies are ominous.
and plays good.
Let's go on to hole number 1. That caught the leaves.
Right in the trees.
Over to golfer 1.
You know, I'm right-handed. I'm not like Ronnie. Thing about Golden Tee is people who don't even play golf like Golden Tee.
Golfer 1.
Maybe he'll putt from there.
Maybe I'll putt from here.
Golfer 1 trying for bogey.
I should have put this on the tripod. What are you guys doing to me?
Trying for double bogey. Golfer 1 to putt.
Alright, time to get serious. I gotta put it on the tripod. Alright, that was just practice. Time to get serious now.
Golfer 1 to putt.
Look at that. Look at that skill. let's see if I can do better this course.
Honors to golfer 1.
Now the tripod's right in my way. I just need to give up these gameplay videos that ain't really working out for me.
Not enough.
Not enough. I don't even think you guys can see anyway.
What's your time?
There you go. Maybe that's better.
Golfer 1 trying for bogey.
I'm getting better. Bogey. Alright, time to get serious. That's how I get serious. I go straight through the trees. Did you see it? Did you see it? There we go. Birdie. Birdie. It's got to be working perfect. Did you see that shot? That's right. It happened, people. It happened. You can pause it. Rewind it. I better quit. I better quit while I'm ahead. I'm just going to stop there. But as you can see, everything works good. It cleaned up good. We've got one more thing we're going to do on this one. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. But we've got to update this hard drive to a compact flash. We don't sell games with hard drives anymore. It's 2024, people. So we're going to take that out of there and put a compact flash in. And that'll pretty much do it for this machine. And we'll start advertising it for sale.
What's your time?
If you're interested in it, shoot us an email or give us a call. But we'd like to thank everybody that's been watching, and we'll see you on the next one.